Hi everybody, Claire Maxwell here with my monthly video about my work with mobile alignment and the Alexander technique, which is a way of working that gives you a positive connection to your body and your movement. And what I mean by positive is that you know that the way you're paying attention to yourself is actually bringing about a change for the better or making things a little bit easier. And so it's not actually hard work to do it. It might be different work, but it's not hard work. So I've got some new mobile alignment points to share. They're not new to those of us who've been taking class and working together over this insane year, but they would be new if you've been reading the newsletters and stuff. So if you want to sign up for the newsletter, you can do that on the website that's listed below the video. So these new mobile alignment points were something actually that one of my students, somebody who comes to class regularly, created. And they're just a different way, a new angle, a different viewpoint on a part of your body that I'm sure you already know. And they are called the top of the femur points. So you can see, I'm just gonna, super high tech here, give the camera a chance to focus on this. So it would be as if you could imagine a little tiny point right on the part of your femur bone, the long bone that fits up into your hip joint. So just take a moment. It's not something you can feel, but you can imagine where it is. And even if you're just, gently, I have another illustration down here. If you're just gently stepping or walking or shifting your weight, moving through space, you could just kind of imagine how that point would be moving, sliding around inside your hip joint. But what's so great is that you don't have to locate the joint. It's much easier just to imagine where that point would be in space. And space is relative, so you could just notice where the floor is with your feet, and you could look, but you can also just feel the sensation coming in through the skin of your feet. And then you can imagine in space how far away from the floor those points are. And what's cool is that you can see out the window while you're doing that, because there's no correct posture or anything that comes with it. And so if you just see out on the horizon and you enjoy a little bit of stepping, weight shifting, and walking, see how that way of paying attention to your body affects you. And you get to decide whether it makes your movement easier or more difficult. Chances are, if it makes your movement more difficult, you might need a little help in looking at how you're paying attention to your body, and if there's something that you think about yourself that's getting in the way of an easy flow of energy and attention through your body. But just so you have a little bit more information about this area, these points, well, it's probably not as simple as I'm going to tell you, but this is just a picture of different areas of skin on your body that are, the sensation comes from nerves that come from different parts of your spine. And so this area of the top of your hip bone is not on the surface, it's on the inside, but the skin around it is actually innervated probably a little bit by both. So there's probably a little bit of purple, which is lumbar nerves, but probably it's mostly red. So you can see the red comes from the sacral nerves, and it kind of flows from the pelvic floor, which you can't see in this illustration because it's looking from front on and back on. But from the pelvic floor, flowing down the back of the legs, and to some specific spots on your feet. But the details don't actually really matter that much. And so if you want to play around with kind of waking up this area of the nervous system, it's a little personal, but you can just use a simple cloth, something like this, to, I'm going to have to change the angle here. And I don't want you to be nauseous, so I'll try to, oh, that's no good. Well, that's as good as it gets. Yeah, so you can just gently bring a cloth front to back. And you might get, now that you have the floor that you're stepping on, that you can feel with your feet, and then you have this very light sort of cloth sensation about the pelvic floor, which includes your sit bones, which is maybe wider than you thought, but there's just a certain distance across it, side to side. And you can imagine, okay, now those points, they're just a little bit above that pelvic floor. And what's it like to let the red really move as you're shifting weight from foot to foot? Really letting it shift. Does that bring more ease around those femur points, the top of the femur for you? What's it like just to locate those places in your body in relationship to each other? And I'd love to hear from you. For me, this has been a real game changer because I have hip injuries and I struggle with my balance, especially when shifting over the injured leg. So to have a way that helps me open up my attention and stay in the flow of the energy through my legs without getting too fixed and trying to hold my balance, it's very helpful. Okay, that was it. Peace and love. Welcome to the new mobile alignment points, the top of the femur. Peace and love.